right, what's up?
What up?
Welcome back for the third episode of Where It Went. How are you, Carter?
Doing good. Just chilling. How are you doing today?
I'm good too. Today we're looking at Victory Magazine #1. Um, this is a little bit different than the other two zines that we've done so far, but this is one of my favorite zines that I have. Um, have you ever seen this zine before? I sent you scans of it.
No, I never have. I've never ever seen it. I didn't know Victory ever did a zine.
Yeah,
But
so I mean,
go
it's
ahead.
sort of like a half zine, half catalog.
Yeah,
Which ends up being pretty interesting because you can see like a lot of the shit that Victory was selling at the time. And like, when we're looking at zines as like a time capsule, this is like a really good one.
I agree. There's a lot of stuff in here too that obviously resells for like an absurd amount of money now. So it's just really funny to see the prices that some of these shirts and hats cost like back in the day. And I don't know if there's a year on this. If I had to guess, it was like 96, 97, but I
I
could be
think it's
wrong.
97.
Okay.
I think it says it in here somewhere. But before we jump into this though, I want to plug you have these in your web store still, right?
Yep. Yep.
Dope. Yeah, this is one of my favorite zines in a while. Between the Lines. Um, it's like it's weird because it's like a half size, but it's not completely half size. It's like kind of a weird off size, but it looks cool anyways.
The ones in the store are full size. That's the one from This Is Hardcore that you have in your hands.
Yeah.
So when we reprinted them, they did full size. So that's the ones I have in my store right now.
Oh, interesting. I might have to order a copy just so I can have both then. But this is Josh and Alec from Statement, right?
Yep, correct.
Dope. Yeah, it's a really good zine. Cool layout, cool photos, good interviews. Everyone should go check this out on the From Within web store if you don't have a copy.
Yep.
All right. You ready to jump into this shit, bro?
Yeah. The first thing I'll ask is why do you think they went with this like Thrasher magazine ass looking cover? Like, do you think that
It's,
was intentional?
it is strange. I mean, this is like legit the Thrasher font or close to it.
Yeah, it's very close to it for sure. And I
Um,
mean, they get it into the Rob Mertz guy who's like a straight edge like hardcore punk dude. So I guess it's like kind of makes sense he's on the front, but at the same time, like just having a skateboarder on the front of the Victory magazine is kind of strange to me.
the only thing I can think of is like they have like hardcore punk, ska, rockabilly, oi, garage music, whatever. I think maybe they're trying to advertise this shit to like people outside
Normie.
of the hardcore scene, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. But one thing that's interesting is so I picked this up for $1 at Armageddon shop in Cambridge in Boston.
Yep. Awesome.
Um yeah, and there's copies of this on eBay right now. There's like one for 150 bucks, which is insane.
That's insane.
Um but we I scanned this. It took a while, I'm not gonna lie, but we scanned it. So there's scans up now. We'll link the scans in the scan in the description, right?
Yeah, 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 for sure. And that's another thing I'll say. This episode, I mean, well, I'll say we're not going to be able to talk about every single thing in the zine because it's 75 pages long.
Yeah.
It's really, really big. So some stuff you'll have to like, take a deep dive for yourself. We'll do the best we can, but just wanted to put that out there because this would be like a 3 hour episode if we like went
Yeah.
into detail with every single page like the last couple.
There's also some pages, as we'll see, that are not nearly as interesting as others. So we'll kind of
Yeah.
get into it. First thing yeah, so summer '97. So
Okay.
that's where it says it. But I did some I crossed out the address just out of respect. But yeah, I guess this is the guy. We did some research. Me and shout out to Dan from Warren. We were looking at this the other day. We did some research, and he was like, "Yeah, that name sounds familiar. That's definitely a guy from a band." So we looked it up on Discogs, and it's the guy from Soul Control. So this was originally
Oh
his.
my God.
Yeah, this guy.
That's
Yeah,
that's actually insane. I never would have put that together.
yeah. This originally belonged to him. Got shipped to him. He sold it to Armageddon Shop in Cambridge, and it wound up with me. But
So
so
this
I
is just dead ass his copy of this.
Yeah, well, I mean it's pretty cool. Like originally, when you would get this shipped to you in the mail, it would be personalized to you.
That
So,
is crazy.
and I mean, obviously, late '90s. This is like pre, you know, big cartel. This is like how you ordered shit was from these
Yeah,
catalogs.
mail order type beat.
Yeah. And so we did some. We had our friend Matt did some research on the first episode when we did the even the score zine about the Rob R. Rock beef, and some older North Carolina guys were just saying that it was essentially just people pissed off at his distro for just like fucking up orders and taking too long. But the guys were basically saying that at that time, pretty much any distro that wasn't the Victory distro was like kind of a crapshoot. Um,
Like
and
you
it
got
really,
what you got.
yeah, and also like we'll see when we get into this, but like they make you put substitutions because like if you order something and then the order form gets to them, like by the time you get this and then you decide what you want, fill out the order form, mail it in.
Could
Um,
be gone.
yeah, it could be gone. So presumably that could have been what was happening with the Rob R. Rock guy. But yeah, they did say that the older guys who were talking to Matt Kay, who were relaying the information to us, were saying that at the time it was like this was like Victory was like the legit distro. Like if you ordered from Victory, you knew you were getting what you paid for, and you didn't have to worry about it. So I mean, obviously this is pretty official. So
Dope.
fucked up pic of Rick Rodney looking all weird on the back. Um, but yeah, so out of the gate, I didn't know that Victory Records had a storefront
I didn't either.
because that's what I mean. I would assume it's not there now, but and even if it is, it's probably no hardcore shit at all. It's probably just whatever weird bullshit they put out now.
Weird ass metalcore shit.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, look, they were doing shows there, I guess. Weird letter from Tony Brummel. Um, but yeah, first thing I noticed, it's interesting that you open it up, and so like this is a Victory mail order at the end of the day. So like it's weird because they're advertising this other stuff that they distro, but also like advertising other labels. And you also have to keep in mind that this is a Victory magazine when you read the articles and like the letters that are in it, because there's definitely going to be some weird bias on everything, you know?
Yeah, I thought it was cool though. That, like, there's ads from like all kind of the labels. Like, I think there's definitely Century Media. I think there was a Trust Kill one in there. There's a bunch of stuff. So I thought it was pretty cool that he basically included everything. And that's one thing I'll say. Like, as you read this, and if you do a deep dive on this, like, there's a couple parts Tony writes himself. For someone who is like as hated as he is, it's kind of crazy to see him like just seemed like a very contributing member of the scene at one point in time before all that happened.
Yeah,
It's
just
just
like
it's
a
weird to
guy.
look back on. Yeah, just like a regular hardcore kid. He was obviously doing a lot for hardcore and seemed to like genuinely care. So it's pretty crazy. It's no secret now. I feel like a lot of people hate him. He's been sued many times and shit. So it's just crazy to see.
This is funny. The not actual cover, like all these other, it's just like we don't got that one yet. But this is I mean, this is like tooth and nails, just like Christian shit, you know?
Yeah, focal point, strong arm.
Yeah, mixed in with some like definitely not hardcore stuff in here as well. Pretty funny. Um, I love a good table of contents. Honestly, like I know that sounds funny, but if I ever did a zine that was I don't know why, I just think it's cool. Like if I ever did a zine that was enough pages to constitute doing one, I would like to do one. Um, this is like this shit here is so like dawn of Photoshop, you know what I mean?
It
Like
looks bad.
yeah. It's just like doing effects on the text because we can now type vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Instead of
saying?
just like it being red with a white outline, which would look really clean, there's just shit everywhere. Like it looks like that you scanned the page 5,000 times.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Um, but yeah, I mean, we got fucking credits like how many people were involved in the zine is pretty funny. I
Pretty
mean,
cool.
this is a huge zine, but
At
yeah,
the bottom there on the left, do you have any idea who that is? It says, "Do you know who this mystery band is?"
I don't. I would assume it's either a Victory Records band or a Chicago band,
Just
but
wearing a fucking Gatorade shirt.
yeah. Um, but I don't actually know. Would be interesting if anyone knows and they want to put it in the comments below. That would be dope. There's some cool photos in here. Some cool strife pics.
Very
Rick
cool.
and Youth Crew '88. And then just like kind of advertising some like releases and stuff. These are
Yeah.
really cool, like the Victory video sampler. Um, I would love to get my hands on a couple of these.
Yeah, I've never seen one myself.
It's just like, have you ever seen the Good Life one?
No.
That's like pretty widely seen now and passed around, but it's just like, I mean, I know most of these bands didn't have music videos. Some of them might have by now, by '97. Some of these bands, like Victory bands, legit might have like Strife Blistered video could be on here. But it's probably just like a song or two from like a live set from most of these, you know?
Man, that is pretty sick though.
Yeah. There's so much hi-fi in the road burners in here, and it's really funny because they're just it's like not a hardcore band. It's like weird
Yeah.
like boogie woogie rock music. And and it's definitely like this is definitely early indication of Victory trying to grow past hardcore as a label.
Yeah, like trying to make, it's purely paying the bills at that point.
Yeah. But
Which I guess in a weird way, like records, like all of these releases are probably still selling insanely well.
yeah, and like I'm sure Victory's still making money off the digitals for them, so
Oh, 100 million% easily.
yeah. But yeah, this is like, this era of Victory, like later kind of Integrity, Strife and Snapcase, like past their kind of like early sort of just like we're just a regular '90s hardcore band onto like we're the big bands with the big recording budget.
Yep.
Pretty interesting. Um, More shit here. Have you ever seen this the One Truth video?
I'm pretty sure I have, yes.
Yeah, I got the DVD. It's pretty dope. It's just like footage from their tour. Um, I'm sure that people were pissed off about this shit, like the uh picture disc stuff here. This is so just like the epitome of like people being mad at Victory for thinking it's procore at this time. Like you have all those zines who have like the articles about like fuck Victory procore bands and like the
Yeah.
stories of like Strife getting like confronted and like possibly beat up and I think it was Atlanta because over an argument of kids calling them procore because of how many rack toms the drummer was using. It's pretty funny.
That is awesome.
But Dwayne when he looked cool as fuck.
He does not look cool anymore.
No, he looks like shit now. He used to be like the coolest looking person. I
He
don't know.
literally is the most core looking, like in the 90s, the most core looking individual of all time. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he looked so awesome then. And then just like, whatever. But I mean, this as a layout is like besides this bullshit where again it's just like the weird like whatever.
What the fuck ever it is. It looks
It,
awesome.
it's pretty cool. Like they make a good and this is printed on like the like newsprint kind of paper,
Yeah.
and they do a good job utilizing that they're doing full color printing. Like the background is cool. Cool photos, bloodlet looking all fucking weird as normal. But yeah, pretty dope. Again, more Victory releases. Just
I
like
think
a
it's
Warzone photo.
it's important to look at the prices too.
Yeah, very interesting. 7 inches were
Four
$4.
dollars, bro. $4 7.
LP $8. It's really interesting that LPs were more money than CDs were, or less money than CDs were.
Yeah, yeah, it's very great. I mean, CDs obviously the epitome of the 90s, and I feel like a lot of people, I don't know. Do you think a lot of people wanted CDs over LPs at this time just because they could play them in their car and that was like a, thing to do or something?
I mean, I would think so because that's pre-streaming of any sort. So if you want to
Yeah.
listen to it in your car, you gotta buy CDs, which is crazy.
It is crazy. And yeah, because I mean, 11 bucks, because now a CD is infinitely cheaper than an LP. I mean, like literally 100 CDs is like 300 bucks, and
Yeah,
the minimum like LP, you're looking at like 500 records. That's like almost 4 grand depending on what you get. So
yeah, it's crazy.
it's insane how the like shift is just insane.
Yeah, more fucking hi-fi in the road burners. This fucking guy here.
Weird. That's like rockabilly shit, right? I mean, that's what it
Yeah,
looks like. Yeah.
yeah, and then it's like it's interesting seeing it's like all hardcore at this period, and then just like them.
You got only the strong. Yeah. And just, I don't know. Weirdo shit.
Very, very strange. Um, got some fucking books. That's pretty interesting. This is so funny. Uh, and those so integrity for those who still fear tomorrow. So like this is 1997 and we're already doing this bullshit. Like
Yeah,
the
that
fucking
it's insane.
backwards bonus tracks, backwards mastering. I can't think of a hardcore record that has had more versions than this.
I mean, they just like didn't they just come out with the 20 year or whatever like recently too?
Yeah,
Like it's just been
you
beaten into the ground.
you can go on Spotify right now and there's like three different mixes of this record available on Spotify alone. And then there's so many more, and it's just so funny because people complain about it. I know so many people complain about it now, and it's just so funny to think that like this has been happening since at least
Nine.
1997.
Yeah, and it was fine how it was. I don't really understand. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, very strange. um I don't really know much about Toy Box Records, but this is all Florida shit. um the Culture Kindred split, which is like two of the best Culture songs. The Culture and Mike Warden Can Suck It 10 inch, and then the some Florida comp. So this has to be some Florida shit. I didn't research on it, but I think I'm gonna, because I mean this comp has Failure Face, Bloodlit, pre Hank Shaw Band, pre Hot Water Music Band. So interesting.
I've heard of Toy Box Records. I have no idea where they're from. I didn't even catch on to that, then possibly being in Florida. But I've definitely heard the name before.
Yeah. Um, this was something I wanted to note too. This Ascension record. Have you ever listened to this?
I have not.
So this is like a thing.
Actually, I might have. The cover does look pretty familiar.
I'm surprised that like more kids who are really into the Klebo stuff are not more into this, because this is like very like they're from Cleveland and it's very in line with Integrity and Cold Blood, Ringworm, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of weird. Like I feel like people don't really talk about them. I haven't listened to it in a long time. I couldn't speak on if it's actually like really good or not, but I know that it kind of fits in with that whole thing and nobody ever talks about it. So
I'm pretty sure because they have a song on that called Kaleidoscope, don't they?
maybe.
I remember. I'm almost positive it's the same band, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I've listened to that.
Yeah. Um all these video, or I guess these aren't books, these are videos, which is there's a bunch of weird shit here.
Yeah.
Big Guns and fucking Three. I could not even tell you what that is.
Cattle and Bum, Peep Show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
weird shit.
Very weird. Ska Explosion. No one on earth needs to know what that is.
Yeah. But yeah, this is just them selling distro shit, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of weird shit on there.
yeah, here's the books. Um, again, a lot of weird stuff. And this is like, I feel like this is before there's a lot of like, now, we have like Shining Life Press who does like hardcore books and they're like xenographies and stuff.
Yeah.
All those Shining Life books are fucking awesome. They do such a good job with their stuff. But this is a lot of stuff that is just like, seems like kind of like they're selling copies of the Anarchist Cookbook through Victory
Yeah.
Records. That's crazy, bro.
I mean, it obviously was making money at the time, which is crazy. But I also, like, I don't know, like, I guess it would be kind of hard to get these weird, obscure books now. But I guess big cities will have like indie bookshops and shit, so it's not that crazy. But
Yeah.
maybe at the time, this was just how you got this kind of obscure stuff. Like, I'm sure. Well, I don't know. I would be interested to know, like, the Henry Rollins book, if that was just like widely available at that time, or kind of what the deal was. But yeah,
Yeah.
I guess like if you wanted like the Anarchist Cookbook or some other weird shit, maybe you had to get it through something like this.
Yeah. But I mean, also, it's like they're just selling the Blade Runner book. They're just selling, I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
this
mean
is,
that is weird.
yeah, like very strange. Some Charles Bukowski book. I don't know, strange. This was cool and interesting. It's like a membership. You sign up and then you just get stuff. Like they just send you records.
I mean, that's a pretty good deal. I mean, I guess at the time, $45 was maybe like was probably seen as a little expensive, but you get 8 7 inches. It looks like.
Yeah.
You get like a cool. It says laminated membership card, which gives you a 5% discount on all orders, which is dope if you order a lot. Like fan club T-shirt. I wonder if there's any of those in the wild still. Like if this actually happened, that'd be cool to see.
Yeah. I wonder if it's a cool design. But like, yeah, and like it makes me wonder like if any of these 7-inch singles that you had to get through this are like actual cool shit. This is essentially like a mystery box vibe, but instead of
Yeah,
one, you just get them over time. But and it
and
says also the 7 inches in the series will contain victory bands and non-victory bands, which is like pretty weird.
very weird. It says only 1,000, pressing out of 1,000 copies, which will include 4 separate colors of vinyl. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess it would be cool to see what bands, there may be some cool shit in there we would like, obviously.
Yeah. If anybody
Um,
knows, hit the comments.
yeah, just very of the times. Like this could never happen again.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
it just wouldn't.
But,
It would not be feasible.
yeah. So when I scanned, I didn't include all these pages because there's a shitload of them and it's not really interesting to look at. It's literally just a list of everything that they distro and like the cost. Um, and it's just like they literally just have everything available. They're just distroing literally everything. There's like pages and pages and pages of it.
And that's
But
what a lot of this shit is too. It's like it literally is a catalog. Like honestly, like old skate magazines where it'd be like CCS Skate. If anyone remembers
yeah,
that, you can buy like any skatewear brand on earth through
yeah,
I think it was CCS or CSS.
yes, it's
Whatever that
CC.
was. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, bunch of Euro shit here. Desperate Fight Records. I mean, most of this is very just like you got to be really, really, really
It,
into this stuff to like this stuff, you know?
this is very obscure hardcore at this time.
Abinanda and like all these comps, Shield, just like Umea shit. But some of this stuff is like okay. It's like cooler than it actually is good, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, 100%. And
Just
then
more pages, full ass pages of just they got so much stuff, man. I don't know. It's crazy. Like I can imagine being like a hardcore kid in the 90s and just like saving up money and just being like, I'm gonna order like 10 fucking records at a time, you know what I mean?
yeah, and that's how you check shit out then too. There's a lot. I wonder how many things people got. And they're like, this shit sucks. Like, why did I buy this?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was really the only option you had.
Yeah. You gotta really want it too, because it's like I mean, artwork obviously at that time was so important because you walk into a record store and you kind of like see something and get the vibe of it. And I mean, I'm sure you and I have both done that before. Walked into like, you know, Vinyl Conflict or Armageddon Shop or like some store like that that has a lot of hardcore shit and just go to like the dollar bin and just be like, "Oh, this looks interesting. I'm just going to buy it. I never heard of it." But it's like
Yeah,
you don't even really get that off the artwork with this. You know what I mean?
for sure. Like it's a weird concept for sure.
Yeah. But all right, we got the Rob Mertz interview, which is so funny that like this being the cover thing,
It's so short.
yeah, it's just like it's literally like 7 questions that
That's
and
almost all the interviews in this are. They're very, very short. It's like all one page, every single one of them.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just weird. It's like this really at the end of the day is more of a catalog than a zine, but it's like it's cool to just I don't know. They're just like again, if they really were just trying to use this on the cover to like get this shit in front of like skaters, you know what I mean, who maybe
Yeah.
didn't know as much about hardcore, probably was a good move, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know who this dude is. He just kind of says he sang in a straight edge band called My First Childhood in the early '80s. I thought it was cool. He said basically they were a straight edge band and like Minor Threat was barely a thing.
Yeah.
So these dudes were like very early on. But aside from that, like I don't know anything about this dude or that band. I've never heard of it until I read this.
Yeah. Pretty cool though.
It is cool, yeah.
Um said he's still in a and it also said he was in a straight edge band with Freddie from Built to Last and Rob Moran.
I mean that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I wonder what band it is.
Yeah, it's very why yeah, like why wouldn't he fucking mention the band?
Yeah, that is funny.
I'm in an SXE band with Freddie from Built to Last and Rob from Unbroken.
Yeah. I wonder we'll have to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
This page is pretty interesting. It's just like a bunch of people who work for Victory and people who are in Victory bands talking about what they're listening to. Pretty funny. I mean, Dwid's demise as a weirdo is near because He's just listening to some weird ass shit.
Oh, there's some really weird Dwid stuff we'll get into when we get to the integrity interview.
Yeah,
He's been like, yeah, we'll get into it. I'll save it for that.
yeah. Um, cool one. Dennis Merrick, drummer from Earth Crisis. Honestly, my second favorite hardcore drummer ever after Mackie from Cro-Mags. But he's still out here. I mean, he's listening to fucking At the Gates and fucking
Madball,
Madball, Wu Tang. He's
Tang.
listening to good shit. It's not all hardcore, but it's all good shit, and it's like some good hardcore still too. You know?
Yeah, you got Ravies listening to Kiss and White Zombie, ACDC.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
I thought this was cool. The dude Rob Mertz, the skateboarder guy, he's just listening to Snapcase, Strife, Earth Crisis, SSD, Judge, H2O, fucking Ignite. He's just listening to fucking. This is like what I would think like a straight edge skater dude from California who likes hardcore.
Listening to, yeah, like the template basically.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty interesting seeing like what these guys are all saying they're listening to. This one was funny. We don't need to get into all of it, but like
I
one,
thought I'll say one for me was Rachel from Indecision at the top,
yeah,
saying Star Wars made her cry when Han Solo was frozen in carbonite.
yeah, that's funny. This one's funny. Like craziest experience at a show. Gigi Allen's last show, I almost got pissed and shit on. He died the next day.
Died the next day. Yeah.
What?
It's cool. You got Igor Cavalier from Sepultura on here.
Legend.
He also his response to Star Wars is so insane. He says, "Neither. I hate both. I'm not into science fiction." Like, what? How's
So
that possible?
yeah, so many of these guys are just like hating on sci-fi in general, bro. I don't know. It's funny. This one was really funny. The guy from MC5. What's your first punk record? And he just said, "I made the first punk record." It's so
This is
funny.
a cool little like idea though to do for a zine. Just like get like really short answers from like a bunch of people. I think that's sick.
Yeah, for sure. The first car thing is pretty funny too. But yeah, so we get into the columns, and it's like they say like all opinions are expressed or strictly those of the individual. But a lot of this stuff definitely leans very pro Victory Records, I would say.
Dude, like the one dude from Holland, like
Yeah.
it's just straight up stupid. Like maybe this was an issue at the time, but he's talking about how like straight edge like isn't everything in hardcore, blah blah blah. Like there's more to this, blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, man, like what the fuck? Who the fuck ever said it wasn't? Kind of, but I don't know. It's a very Euro type interview.
Yeah. I
Or
mean, you always see, I feel like you see in the 90s, like people refer to the straight edge scene a lot as like a separate thing. And even like the late 80s, like New York stuff, it's so weird to think about that now because now it's just like, I don't know any straight edge kids who only listen to straight edge hardcore. You know what I mean?
yeah, that is like. I mean, it puts into perspective. I don't know, like I being straight edge is probably as big as it'll ever be in the '90s. Like I don't know if it'll ever be bigger than that because like if these people are saying there are entire scenes, like that's crazy to think about now. Like obviously there's a lot of straight edge kids, but there's also a lot of kids who aren't straight edge now. So I don't know,
Oh,
different.
but yeah, interesting to see him being like, Victory Records are just one of the few who treat bands with respect, and that's what it's all about. But like, you have 4 years before this already, early on, that Worlds Collide interview in Even the Score, where he's like talking about how Victory rips bands off and stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah, pretty funny. This guy Sean McClaughterty also talking about the straight edge kids versus non-straight edge kids. That could be I feel like that's like a regional thing too. And I mean, this guy is talking about Clear, so he's probably from Salt Lake City. He might say that in here. I didn't read the whole thing. Oh yeah, he's from Salt Lake City. So that's definitely like a big place for where like the weird straight edge kids versus not straight edge kids things was happening in the 90s too.
yeah. He's got a dope email, clear801 at AOL.com.
That's all. These kids don't know about AOL.com, bro.
They don't, bro. We used to be on AIM.
Um, this ad was cool. This is like these kind of ads, obviously, like labels don't do this now. This looks
No.
uh like an 80s like a Powell Peralta or like Bones Brigade ad,
Yeah,
like
very
like a
much.
skate company ad. And like these dudes are probably all super influenced by that as far as what they were doing, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was obviously, like you said, it was the 80s, but I mean, that whole vibe, I feel like, was obviously still around.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like someone doing just something kind of normal. I don't know. It looks cool though. It's a
Yeah.
sick.
It's like cool too because it's like they did this like the sign in the background is like initial records with the releases
Yep.
on it, and like they didn't do this in Photoshop. They like set up
Just
a thing
did it.
and did like a photo shoot
Yeah,
for this fucking ad, you know?
it is cool.
Yeah. Um, More columns. One from actually from Tony Brummel from Victory.
Uh,
Um,
this is the one that I was kind of talking about earlier. Like, if you read this, it's crazy. Like, he just seems like as dedicated as it gets, hardcore kid. He's talking about friends who drop out and basically become like Grateful Dead worshippers, and how that's just like the lamest thing on earth, and about people selling out and shit. So it's just crazy to see him have this much spirit, and then Victory became what it is, what everyone knows it is now. You know.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's like what we said when we were looking at that first zine, that first episode, like you realize like things, the more things change, the more things really stay the same, you know? It's like
Yeah.
it's all the same shit as it was fucking
No, it that's
years
just one
ago.
thing people don't realize. Like, people have been trying to fucking fight for like unity within hardcore since the fucking 80s. Like, it's all the same.
Yeah.
It'll always be the same.
Yeah. Pretty funny.
Uh, that one thing I want to say about this Skip Stern guy, there's a part where he's talking about how Victory signed an agreement with Red Distribution, who's owned by Sony, and it was just like, does this mean Victory is owned by Sony? No. Just basically, Victory will never have any ownership interested associated with a major label, which obviously isn't true. Like, they
Yeah.
sold hard as fuck, but it's just funny to like kind of read that back then.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. This is just like I said, this is definitely, these columns are definitely so biased. You know what I mean?
Pro Victory,
Yeah.
obviously.
Um, More columns. I mean, this shit is like the columns are kind of like funny because these are just like a newspaper as far as the layout goes, or like a
Yeah,
magazine, you know?
just like a straight up newspaper, like literally just like text down the grayish types
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's kind of what I said at the beginning. Like, we're not going to get in deep dive into all this because a lot of it is just like nonsense at this point. But if you do feel inclined when you get the scan, you can read all of this shit.
Yeah. Um, Stillborn Records ad for the Integrity Hatebreed split. Pretty cool.
Dope ass split.
Yeah. This is like Still Suit is like Long Island, like kind of a lot like the classical Long Island style. I'm not sure
Yeah,
what Echo 9 is. This is probably some like skate punk shit, I would think.
or rockabilly, bro. There ain't no telling.
I find the road burners.
The
Um,
sick ass turmoil ad.
yeah, this is really cool. Turmoil is one of those bands where like I'm not out here really listening to anything other than Process of.
Yeah, for that's me as well.
They sound so different on those 7 inches, but it's like I collect any Turmoil 7 inches I can find, even if I don't really like care about the songs, just because they're fucking cool, you know? Like
Yeah,
the vibe is cool. They always have cool layouts. It's like so 90s looking in like a cool way, you know?
yeah, looks dope.
But yeah, this is Century Media, so this is, you know, pretty interesting. Um, Scene reports. I thought these were funny.
Yeah,
Um,
thought it was cool. Like, this is a cool idea to do. Like, I see people obviously still do this in zines now sometimes, and it is cool. One thing I thought was funny. They're talking about Indecision being a straight edge band again, which has been like, obviously they're like technically not, but has been a debate forever.
yeah, I mean, they sound like a straight edge band.
They
You
might as well be, but
know? Yeah. But yeah, just this era of you know, Indecision, No Redeeming Social Value, VOD, Sub Zero, Fahrenheit 451,
Yep.
H2O. This is 2 years after the New York Hardcore documentary came out. So this is like that era of New York Hardcore, you know?
Hmm.
It's funny that they like also mentioned Shutdown as being Youth of Today inspired and like calling them like super fast old school sound. I love that. Like these motherfuckers were bringing back old school hardcore in 1997. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to talk about in another episode we do. But something I noticed, yeah, like you're like hardcore has been around like what, like fucking 10 years at this point, like, like
Yeah,
really, and they're already like we're on old school hardcore, which
yeah,
like we just said a minute ago, like that just kind of shows you like this shit's been the same forever. It's the same shit. Like nothing in hardcore that's going on right now is some new shit that has never been done before. Like the same thing, like these bands, people be like, "Oh, that shit's like whack. That's not hardcore." Blah blah blah. Like that's definitely what people thought of bands like Vision of Disorder and other bands like that. That like kids now, like we don't think that at all. It's just I don't know. When you're
yeah.
living in a time, it seems like it's this really crazy thing, but it's all the same shit.
Yeah, I mean, even going back further than that to like the 80s when like people were like, "Oh, dude, fuck Leeway, fuck
Yeah,
like
exactly.
AF turned into a metal band, like SOD, like these are not fucking hardcore bands. This shit doesn't sound like Straight Ahead. This is fucking like, this shit doesn't sound like fucking Antidote 7 inch. This is like metal bullshit." So it's definitely like funny seeing that.
Yeah, it like a I don't know. Last time I'll say it, but yeah, everything's the same. It just the cycle repeats.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's more like scene report stuff, Germany stuff. It's funny because the Germany stuff, he doesn't really talk about bands. He talks about like he does, but like he doesn't. He says like one line about each. And even so, it's like one of these is like a ska
Doesn't
band.
really doesn't really tell you much. Just grinding evil core
Yeah,
has a California emo punk sound.
yeah, it's like interesting, but yeah, talking about the Fireside Bowl, legendary venue, pretty cool. Um, This was cool. I hit up Kyle Nyland asking about C's Records because this is clearly some Connecticut stuff. He said
Connecticut stuff,
that
yeah.
this dude passed away some not super recently, but somewhat recently. But that the
Okay.
dude was like still kind of like a guy that was around. Pretty cool.
That's dope.
Yeah.
You got the bottom there, straight edge means I have no friend shirt, which I'm sure a lot of people have seen before.
Yeah, I had the maroon one. And then this one, this drug free youth shirt here. I know Matt K has the navy version of it.
It's a
Um,
sick shirt, bro.
Yeah, it is. Andrew Thomas Company is cool. They had a lot of like cool designs and stuff. But yeah, um, it's like early kind of like graphic design leaning straight edge apparel, you know? Uh,
$12 a shirt too.
yeah. This I thought was funny. The New Zealand uh scene report because I've never really heard about any of these New Zealand bands.
I mean, it's crazy that there's still bands in New Zealand now. I actually saw something recently about some bands there, but pretty crazy to think about. Because I mean, that's a place like when do you ever hear about a band touring from New Zealand? So
Yeah.
there's probably kids there. Like the only time they're gonna see like even a band like fucking Madball or Terror who have toured everywhere. They probably don't go to New Zealand that often, so it just has to be insane living there.
Yeah, I would think they probably have to go to Australia or Japan to see
Yeah,
them.
yeah, 100%. Which maybe isn't that crazy to go to Australia from New Zealand, but I don't know, just something to think about. Pretty
when
wild.
we when Envision and Magnitude were over in Japan, there was a couple people who came from New Zealand and Australia. There was a kid there who came to every single show. I can't remember if he was from New Zealand or Australia, but he was like, "Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna get to see Mag and Envision, so I just traveled here and I'm just going to all the shows." That was pretty cool.
That gives the dude being in fucking isolation will give you the spirit. I can
For
I can
sure. I
attest
mean,
I can
I
attest
feel
to
like
that.
to a much lesser degree, obviously. I'm not trying to put the struggles of being a hardcore kid in Florida on the same level as New Zealand, but I
Yeah.
feel like me and you have kind of gone through that growing up, you know?
Oh, for sure, dude. Like, I mean, like in Pensacola, we're lucky if we get like a show a month, and like, there's not that much happening where I can just drive to it, like especially on a weeknight. So like, there's a show coming up like here. It's like a thing. Like you take off work for it. Like if someone misses a show here, like I know in like big cities, you can't go to everything, but here it's like, why the fuck didn't this person come to the show? Like it's just an event. But definitely makes you appreciate it more. Like when I go up to Philly for shows and stuff, it means a lot more than if I saw it like every single week. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's just different.
Um, this I wanted to just quickly note this Chalice set apart split when we were looking at the Florida zine, the South Florida zine, and there was that layout of all the records, and there was one that I said I didn't know what it was because it didn't have the title on it. It's this split.
Wow, that's insane. How did you find that out? Were you just like,
Uh, my friend John, who I mentioned, would probably
okay,
lure us up. He was texting me so much lore about so much of the stuff, and I was like, "Bro, put it in the comments so that everybody can see." But he was just texting it all to me. He didn't want to go to the comments, but I appreciate the clarity on a lot of the stuff nonetheless.
yeah, it's dope you found out.
Um, this is funny too. Like the like.
That
This is,
Matt K made that.
yeah. Oh, this is Matt K core too. He loves all this shit, bro. This is third party records. He's obsessed with the fucking Plagued with Rage.
Plays the Rage. Yep.
When Eco Strike played Gilman Street in um, San Francisco, California, on a tour we did that was Eco Strike Abuse Power and Second Sight. And while we were sound checking, Matt K was like, "Dude, there's a guy here that I think played in Plagued with Rage." And I was like, "Okay, how? Like, that's such an obscure band. How would you even know that?" And then he was like, "I'm gonna sound check with a Plagued with Rage riff, and if the guy comes running up and knows what it is, then that's how we know if it's him." And lo and behold, Matt sound checked with the Plagued with Rage riff, and the dude came running up to the fucking stage. And then Matt ended up talking to him about Plagued with Rage after the set for like an elongated period of time.
That is the most Matt K fucking story I've ever heard in my life. Like the fact he even knew a Plague with Rage riff
Yeah,
is
like he just knew how to play it off the top of his head.
that's insane.
Yeah. But this is all stuff that's very like actually very I feel like tied into the zine we're doing for the next episode, which is that line of defense zine.
Yeah.
This is just that like, you know, the like rebuilding hardcore. Again, it's so funny how cyclical everything is and how that comes back today with like people talking about like regular hardcore and like wanting to bring back regular hardcore and like this is just like these are like youth crew type bands who are just like sick of fucking bloodlet. They're sick of Race Trader. They're sick of sitting on the floor. They're sick of everything being hyper political. They're just like, we just want like hardcore, like old school, like straight edge youth crew hardcore back.
Yeah. Kyle Nyland swears he's revolutionary with that statement, although it's been going on for fucking decades. So
Well,
I
whatever.
hope I hope he watches this.
Speaking of Conn Island, more Connecticut shit. Southington, that's where the Nyland Bros are from. Shout out to them. Anything Connecticut in here, I actually texted Kyle about. But yeah, I told him the address, and he was like, "Yeah, I know right where that's at. That's like right by where I grew up." But
That's
I've never listened to this split in particular, but Die My Will's pretty sick. They got tracks, bro. You ever listen to them?
I literally just took I don't want to say a deep dive, but I listened to all their shit last because I randomly saw I forgot which record it was. I was like, oh, this looks dope. I've actually never really heard of this band, and I saw it's from Connecticut. But yeah, it's pretty hard. They got some sick songs.
Yeah, they're sick. This here, I wanted to mention that I never really realized that Blacklisted came out on Eyeball Records. This is the label that put out the first My Chemical Romance record. So
That is insane.
Breakdown and My Chemical Romance being on the same label is funny.
Label mates, bro. That is crazy.
Um, Strife interview one pager. It's like literally just like the whole zine is just like him, or the whole interview is just like Rick Rodney kind of complaining about
Fighting.
violence at their shows when they played the East Coast.
Yeah.
Pretty
It's weird. I thought it was cool. He mentions that Igor Cavalera played drums on the last song on in this Defiance, the song
Yeah.
Bro. And then I looked up a little bit more, and I didn't know this actually. He played all the drums on Witness or Rebirth that came out in 2012. So
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, pretty cool.
But yeah, the interview is really nothing special in my opinion. It's literally just him being like, "I am tired of this fighting, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
Like, all right, buddy.
Yeah. Um, short Warzone interview.
Uh, this one is, I would say, pretty sad reading, like looking back on, because this came out in '97. That's the year he died. So he wasn't, Rabies was not alive much longer after this interview was done, which is
Yeah.
just crazy to think about.
Yeah, he passed away on September 11th, I think, right?
Yep, in '97, September
Yeah.
11th.
So this came out in summer. This was a few months before he passed, so that sucks.
Very crazy to look back on for sure.
Yeah. Um, East Coast Empire Records, more Connecticut stuff.
Dude, it's kind
Um,
of crazy how many labels Connecticut had just looking at this like magazine alone.
yeah. Um, I mean, they were definitely like a fucking powerhouse in the 90s, you know?
Much so. Some of All Fears, a fucking amazing band, especially Sin of Anger. If you guys haven't listened to that, it's definitely worth checking out. It's on Spotify, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that shit's cool. This is like the beginning of like that sort of like, like this is like what led into like early Bridge 9 stuff, I feel like, some of all fears and tenfold and stuff like that.
Yep.
But yeah, pretty dope. Um, Blackout Records, old school New York hardcore shit. You got the fucking Euro interviews, the Abinanda interview, and the Puru Sam interview. So
Two bands I never got into. I know up top people fuck with that band. I don't know. I just never got into it.
when we first started Envision, we were like listening to a lot of Abinanda and being like, yeah, this is a vibe for sure.
Yeah.
You would probably like some tracks before they got like kind of more rocky.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, it's cool. It's like what this is like one of those things we talk about all the time where it's like I would never sit down a new kid and be like, you must hear
Well,
Abinanda.
yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
must listen to this.
Yeah. This I thought was
Something you find on your own, kinda.
yeah, yeah. Opinions on Nintendo 64. They're just hating on N64, bro. It really sucks. We hate it. All right.
3D 3D is bad. That's such a crazy hate. Like 3D is bad.
Yeah,
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
I don't know. More fucking crap for sale. Just got every release ever. Like literally every fucking release ever. Um, Hatebreed interview. Thought this was pretty cool. Short.
It's kind of like not all these interviews. I'll say that's one thing. None of them are that good.
No,
Like like one of the questions here, were you a hyperactive kid? And he's just like, yes, I was hyper. I figured you were a hyper kid. It's just like, okay, like if the interview's this short, this is what you're giving us. Uh, like down at the bottom, he's talking about like his dad coming back from Vietnam and no one respecting them, which is kind of like, I don't know, depressing. He's talking about all like the Vietnam veterans who committed suicide. It's just a weird interview.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's strange. I do feel like these interviews are like sort of like when like you get a public this is like Victory trying to do like a real magazine again to like just advertise their bands. And so
Yeah,
it's like when you get those kind of like when like Revolver they don't or Kerrang or some like major like music publication, they don't do like a full interview, but they do just like we're doing like a spotlight on this band where it's just like four facts about them. That sort
yeah.
of seems like what this is more trying to do, you know?
You got Josta and the old school fucked hat.
Yeah. I did think this was pretty cool when they were talking about their influences. Like, it really just, I mean, obviously, it's just like New
New
York
York
hardcore,
hardcore metal.
metal, and Clevo core. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense, you know?
Literally does sound just like that too. Pretty dope.
Yeah. Them saying too, I thought this was a really interesting thing. Up until the present day, I've seen Hatebreed grow into the most sought after unsigned hardcore band in the United States.
Yep.
That was, it's pretty interesting to think about them in that context. Like, just like this new, like, kind of like hype band that hasn't
Powerhouse.
yet. Yeah. So pretty cool. Um, by the grace of God, who cares?
I didn't read that shit, bro. I read the Path interview.
Yeah,
Uh, it's there's a couple funny parts. One of the things him saying like they had a 45-minute set and they're trying to write more songs on the next release so they can play longer. It's like,
yeah,
what the fuck are you talking about,
yeah.
dude?
Like we still only managed to eat up about 45 minutes is really funny.
Like, is that just how long bands were like? Was that normal? Because
I
that
don't
seems
know.
crazy. Like 45 minutes is like what we would see a headliner at FYA play.
Yeah,
Like Life of Agony probably played like 45 minutes to an hour. Like it's just
yeah, it's
crazy.
pretty.
Like I don't know, weird vibe.
More stuff, more interviews, Snapcase, Hi-Fi and the Road Burners.
I don't care about either of these to be honest with you.
Yeah. You don't like Snapcase at all?
I don't hate it. I don't like it though. Like they got a couple songs, but I will say two. I saw them live and it was one of the fucking worst things I've ever seen in my life. I think one
Oh
of
yeah,
them was playing barefoot.
yeah,
It was weird.
yeah, for sure. Um, More just short interviews, more stuff they're selling. I thought this was cool. The John Joseph interview.
Him talking about working on Oz and how he's getting into acting.
Yeah, pretty funny.
Strange fella.
Yeah. More interviews, and then back to like the kind of more,
Again, they're talking about going back to your roots, back to just old school hardcore type vibe.
yeah, which is funny because Hatebreed is like not that, and like
Not that at all. I mean, now it is for
yeah.
sure, but then not at all.
um Victory Apparel, this stuff is like now we're getting into the interesting time capsule stuff where we're starting to see like this is really fucking funny, the independent generals warning, major labels force you to lose your identity, they will like blah 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 blah, which is really strange and funny.
Dude, this is like a older version of the scheme stop sucking corporate cock, bro.
Yeah, literally.
It literally is. But one thing I was gonna point out, this hate breed hat, $14 for this. Do you know how many kids would fucking kill their fucking mom to own one of these hats now?
Yeah, for sure.
And it probably like easily could sell for like 80 to 100 bucks, I bet, on Depop.
Yeah.
Another thing that was funny, them just selling a beanie that says vegan and one that just says XXX through Victory Records for 10 bucks.
Yeah, they were capitalizing, bro. They were capitalizing
They
off.
were, they were. It's just really funny to look at.
Yeah. Um, this is interesting that now we get into like the distro shirts and you start seeing like it's such a weird combination of things. Just like the BMX Rules t-shirt next to the Disciple shirt. And we got like All Out War and Bad Religion next to each other.
Yeah,
They're selling Alien Workshop shirts, just like
I
skate
mean
companies.
they have a Deftone shirt, bro.
Yeah.
It's
Super.
also look at the Deftone shirts and the Bad Religion one, 14.50. Like I know shirts are obviously like 25 bucks now for a t-shirt, but 14.50 back then seems kind of high. I could be wrong,
Well, I
but
mean, you look at like the Battery shirt, the All Out War shirt, like the hardcore stuff is
it's 12 bucks.
$12, and then the bigger bands are 14.50, and then you got like the Alien Workshop shirts, like the skate companies are like 15.
Yeah, which seems it's like I said, that does seem expensive. Because I remember when I first started going to like shows, like in 2009 ish, like hardcore shows, a shirt was $15 even
Yeah.
then. So, and you're talking about like a good time before that. So it's very interesting to look at.
This is funny. All distro shirts in XL only. That's why you got a bunch of fucking like
All
skate.
like dude, every old fucking band shirt and all that is all XL.
Yeah, and that's how you get all these fucking skinny bleach blonde butt cut haircut kids in
Big clothes.
XL shirts. Yeah.
I love the straight edge Star Wars shirt on the next page. The strong arm shirt on the left, the bottom left, is really
Yeah.
sick. I would
That's a
wear the
cool
fuck
one.
out of that shirt.
Um, yeah, the straight edge Star Wars shirt is fucking awesome.
That is classical shirt. 10-yard fight shirt looks dope.
Social
Oh,
distribution
shit.
shirts is pretty funny. This is really funny too. The list of distributed shirts, but like you don't see what the fucking design is.
Like it like Initial Records logo. I guess you just have to know what the logo looks like.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Gridlock
if
logo.
it just says logo or like first album, I guess that makes sense. You know what to expect. But like the Ensign Dragon Ball shirt, like what could that be, bro?
And also it says straight edge.
Yeah,
Like
awesome.
what? Like is it just like you don't even know the font or anything? I don't know. It's very interesting.
More videos, fucking surf wax bars. This is where we're getting into just like they're selling whatever, bro.
Whatever, bro. The Friday as records.
I also love the phone call orders. Like you could call 1-800-1-8884 hardcore and like order all this shit over the phone, which is pretty funny.
I mean,
Like
that just shows you like where Victor is at. Like they were making a lot of money, I imagine, if they had like a place you could call to order this shit.
Tony Brummel was not paying whoever was sitting there answering those phone calls. It was just like some 17-year-old kid from Chicago in a Snapcase t-shirt who was just like, damn, I'm gonna get
I
free
work for
stuff.
Victory.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like I'm gonna get free records, blah blah blah. You actually might be like insanely right about that, which is funny.
it's some definitely some internship type vibes.
Yeah. You got the Strife and H2O skateboards.
Yeah, through Zorlak.
Dude, the hot sauce at the bottom is
Yes,
killed when I
dude,
saw it.
they're just distributing hot sauce, which is really fucking funny. Um, I mean, Gridiron has barbecue sauce now. I guess that's the same vibe.
Always been around, bro. It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, pretty funny. This dead guy interview is funny. He just like I feel like every dead guy interview I've ever read, the people they're interviewing, I don't know if it's always the same guy. Presumably it's not. They just always seem like kind of pissed off and disinterested in doing the
Like
fucking.
it's like one of the questions. Are you two of the questions? What's your favorite jazz artist? Are you a fan of noise music?
Yeah.
What the fuck do we care for, dude? Ask something like ask anything else.
Yeah. Baby Go Pal interview, pretty funny. Um, more shit for sale. Then we got this fucking.
Dude, this is the one I wanted to bring up. We're talking about the Holy Terror Church in here, and he kind of like breaks down what it is, and it sounds like the craziest thing I've ever heard of in my life. I don't know if you read this, but essentially this Holy Terror Church takes like bits from every religion and then combines what makes the most sense.
I mean, this is just like Dwid doing his fucking like I'm a weird guy gimmick to like promote
This is
integrity.
when he started doing like where he holds his metal hand up and does the cursed smile.
Oh Lord, yeah,
This had to be like right around when that was coming to town.
yeah,
Fucking weird ass guy, dude.
very strange. But um, this I thought was strange. There's like the Despair interview getting like an actual layout when the rest of them didn't. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not much of a layout and being like a whole page because Despair is also was like not a Victory band.
Dude, yeah, like one of the smaller bands they probably interviewed on this at the time too.
Yeah. And this is like an actual interview with actual like questions that you would see in an interview. Talking
Yeah.
about like, their lyrics, the new release, lineup change, like whatever. This is like the most legit interview in the whole thing. And it's for like the band that's not.
Is the like least like probably what people are the least interested in at the time. Like
Yeah, and also
wrong.
not a band on Victory.
Yeah, it is funny. I will say a couple things. He mentions the lineup. They got some new people. It looks like they got the this dude Jim who played in Zero Tolerance and This World Rejected. People listening, if you've never checked out This World Rejected, that is a 7-inch I fucking love. It's kind of hard to get like find the files on, but like you can go on Discogs and get the actual 7-inch for really cheap. And I know that sounds like that's like an out of body experience to say that for someone to do now, but I think that 7-inch is so good that it's worth it.
Yeah.
And also they got Jeff Hydro who played in Turmoil in the band now, so pretty fucking crazy lineup. You think about it now, like you got some Turmoil, Zero Tolerance, and Scott Vogel in a band.
Yeah, pretty sick. Zero Tolerance also, if you've never listened, listen to Fuel the Fire 7-inch is fucking awesome.
Yep. Yeah. If you like Envision, you should check out Zero Tolerance.
Yeah, for sure. More shit. Just like now we're getting into like fucking whatever. There is a page missing here. Whoever I got this from, there.
It. You think it was a poster?
It's either was a poster or this is just like yeah, it might have been a poster. I don't know,
It
but
kind of looks like it was like had a seam and it was ripped out. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
because it's a pretty clean rip. It doesn't look like a
Yeah.
giant rip, so it is possible. If anybody knows, if anybody has a copy of this and knows what is in here, please tell us in the comments.
You got to hit up the Soul Control guy. He's probably got it hanging up somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, more shit for sale. Victory distributed apparel. This is really getting crazy. So much stuff that you're just buying a shirt based on the description of the shirt without knowing
The
what you're.
same, just logo.
Yeah, like that's pretty crazy, but whatever. Up front, it's funny that this is like, yeah, first full length in over 9 years. Fast, slow, heavy, melodic. This one has it all. And like this is definitely, this record is like up front trying to be like, oh, this is what's cool in the 90s now, like this new school vibe. All right, let's do this instead of Youth Crew. It's pretty funny. Um, this is crazy too. This is just how you ordered here. This is like the shipping options, like it's pretty funny.
It is so fucking. It's crazy how cheap it is too.
Yeah, yeah, it's wild. More stuff, books, posters, patches, videos, zines, whatever. Good Life.
Get up there, bro.
Yeah, this is the classical Euro stuff here. Pretty cool. All eight, H8000 and Florida Hardcore. That's like the fucking Good Life bread and butter right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Known as
Those regression songs go hard too.
which ones? The regression songs? Yeah, they're fucking awesome.
They go really hard.
Me and you both have like love for the H8000 stuff, and we both acknowledge like a lot of it is not very good, but it's cool.
It's shitty, but it's cool as fuck.
The regression songs, especially the ones on this split, are actually good.
Yeah.
So I would love to know what's on the Congress CD-ROM.
That release has some tracks on
Yeah, it does, but I want to know what's on the CD-ROM, brother.
it. Yeah, I mean,
That was probably in 1997. That probably blew people's minds, bro.
yeah. This re-release comes with 8 live tracks on video CD-ROM.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That actually would be sick to get.
This is some more weird Holy Terror Church bullshit.
This was the dumbest thing in this whole entire zine. Like, get this shit out of here, bro.
Yeah, this is stupid.
It's very stupid.
Order form. You know what? Honestly, this order form appears multiple times. Maybe that's what he ripped out.
That's good. I bet you money that's what it is.
Maybe he ordered some. He ordered some shit. That makes the most sense realistically.
That does make sense, yeah. Because it was right by like an ad for other stuff too, so that would make sense.
Yeah, this poll is funny. It's like probably they were using this information to like decide what kind of stuff to do with the label.
Some quality control.
Yeah. Early Bridge 9 shit, tenfold, more, like the Connecticut stuff we're talking about.
And like I feel like you think your younger kid now like knows how important Bridge 9 was at one point in time?
I don't know. I mean, me and you got into hardcore around the same time, 2008. This is like Bridge 9 was like the biggest label,
It was the thing, bro. It was crazy. Also, the Bridge 9, like the little anime drug free. That's like a shirt. I fucking love that design. I would love to get my hands on that. Sure, it's very expensive, but I feel like someone did a boot, but it was like so long ago. By the time I found it, it had been long gone. But that's a really sick design.
Someone reprinted it. You know what I do like more than this one? I do love this one, and I would love to get this too. But I like the score one more. Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The same vibe, but with the Ranma 1/2 on it. It's just like the extra anime shit. But yeah, this is really fucking cool. Victory tour dates, just some of the bands on tour. Pretty cool. Hi-Fi and the Roadrunners. road burners. No dates as of this time, but they had to include it.
Thank
Okay.
God. Just really pushing that bullshit out there,
Yeah.
bro.
Snapcase going on tour for like essentially like 4 months straight.
She insane.
Sejas type activity.
It's very chaos.
Um, but yeah, I don't know if people realize how. I would love to see this too. The Jedi two-sided Yoda straight edge. Uh,
I've seen that shirt.
shout,
Uh,
shout out to the Yoda group chat, bro.
I think I'm almost positive it's the one. If you go on Mills Vintage right now, it's already sold, but they still have a picture of it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's pretty sick shirt. Like it's very like '90s autistic straight edge. You know, like the like Star Wars straight edge type bullshit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's very crazy.
um,
Another dime. That's actually the first record I listened to last week when I checked them out.
this one, yeah, this one's good. Another ad for Drawn and Quarter Records. You know, this was a legit label if they had multiple ads in the Victory catalog.
Very funny.
This was
It's
weird.
good, bro.
Ringworm with a U. Um, yeah, just kind of,
Some tomfoolery.
more stuff. Nothing that super stands out. Another one of these, like, we got the Built to Last self-titled CD EP coming out, but we got no artwork yet. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You'll see it. Um, reviews pretty cool. I mean, I did think that these reviews were like overwhelmingly all positive, which is pretty
Dude,
interesting.
that was what I was gonna say. There was like the reviews are fine, and like I'm not saying I like when people just like absolutely piss on something they don't like because like it is subjective. But these are like just all positives. Like every single thing is like basically just like this rules. It's like I'm gonna need a little something more than that.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty interesting overall. The only thing that they kind of like nicely hate on is the Corn CD.
I thought it was weird they had to put that in there. Basically, just they're just kind of like more shit talking Sony than Corn, but like
Yeah, I mean,
that is
Sony probably paid them money to review it or something. I don't know. Maybe they had some sort of it seems like they had some sort of obligation to review it, and that's why they
because
did.
of the red distribution thing we talked about earlier.
Yeah, yeah, that's possible. But yeah, good stuff. Good, interesting snap case of like kind of what's happening at this time. More interviews, or I mean, more reviews, more
Uh,
pretty positive.
I love the Victory Classified thing. This is very of the '90s.
Yeah, this
Uh,
is so funny. All of these are funny.
the top one, straight edge hardcore kid, 1 hour north of Tampa, recently moved here and can find no scene, looking for friends in areas and pen pals to end boredom. No racist, sexist.
Dope.
Spring Hill, Florida. So probably just like some random ass, like Bobo ass town, like he said, north of Tampa.
Yeah, pretty funny. I wonder if he got linked up with like the 403 Chaos people and started going to fucking combat wounded veteran shows and stuff. That's what was going on in Tampa at the time. Yeah.
Very, yeah, but a lot of these are cool. Like this is such a '90s thing.
Yeah, for sure. But this one is depressed. Just somebody talking about being depressed.
I drink too much, and all my friends call me bro. Send your helpful advice now.
This one was interesting. The Holy Terror interview or ad rather, just like advertising Holy Terror stuff. But I would love to get copies of Blood Book. That's definitely something we want to do on here eventually.
Yeah, someone actually mentioned that we should do that on From Within Instagram. They're like, you guys got to do Blood Book next.
Yeah, that's coming. But yeah, here we go. We're looking for a responsible intern for our Chicago office. College credit is possible. So there you go. Proof they were not paying the kid in the Snapcase t-shirt who was answering the phones.
You're 100% right. They just dead ass weren't, which is so funny.
Serious labor exploitation going on over at fucking Victory Records.
Very much so.
This was a weird ad.
This is fucking insane, dude. dude. It's just supposed to look like a cereal box.
Like Nabisco crackers box.
Yeah,
Crazy.
weird shit.
Yeah. This was cool. Colored vinyl discography. Pre Discogs just being readily available for you to look up your pressing information. So, if you get a fucking Worlds Collide 7-inch, you can look it up and be like, oh, my yellow one is the second most rare color.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah. I like stuff like this, to be honest, like cataloging of, as someone who has collected stuff and done a label, I'm sure you appreciate this too. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
definitely so.
It's kind of crazy looking at the number of, I mean, like the All Out War 7-inch, they pressed over 1,000 copies, and that was after it had already come out on Conviction Records too.
Dude, that's just dude. People in back in the day, people sold so much vinyl that I just don't think people understand.
Yeah, 3,000 copies of only the strong 7-inch.
Like, think about that. 3,000 copies.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
3,000 copies is like what a Mind Force record get pressed out of now.
yeah, yeah, that's crazy.
It's just way different now. You got to be fucking huge to be doing numbers like that.
A lot of weird odd numbers too. 511, 508, 515, 470. I guess is that because of like, or like 623? Is that because of just like run over or whatever? Like,
Yeah, if I had to guess, they got like, because that obviously happens. You can be a little cut, or you can get a little extra when doing vinyl, and they've probably just put the whole number on there just to be like, I guess to stay true to how many it actually is.
yeah, that's cool. Usually when I was doing plead your case, if I got lucky with that, like for those who don't know, when they dump the wax into the pressing thing to press the records, the over under sometimes they kind of let you know, hey, there's like a, depending on the plant, like 10 to 20%, you might get lucky and get 20 records more than what you expected or 20 records less than what you expected, just based on how much wax they dump into the thing. When I would do plead your case, if I got lucky and got extra ones, I would just give them all to the band.
Yeah, I've never had any under. I have had, I think, 2 or 3 times it go over, but it's always like by like 20 records at most. It's not like you get this. You're getting this insane deal or anything.
Yeah. More shirts. This is like
A lot
there's
of,
cool ass
lot of
shirts.
sick shit. Yeah, a lot of sick shit in here. The Earth Crisis shit, Path shirts, the Built to Last Earth Crisis shirt, like a lot of sick shit.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite Earth Crisis designs. I
Like a
mean,
more season in ones.
yeah, with the 5 live photos on the back.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just a bunch of cool shit here. Um, yeah, I don't know. Just cool fucking.
Yeah. The Strife Japan shirt, that's a fucking dope ass one. Or the
Yeah,
Japanese.
that is a fucking cool ass shirt. I used to have this. I used to have a shitload of these striped shirts that I no
Good
longer
Strife shirts. What'd you do with them?
sold or traded them all in my mania.
God. The next page, bro. Legendary. The work jackets and victory work shirts. I
Yeah.
still would rock one of these. I think they
Oh,
look
dude,
work
I,
shorts are awesome.
I have a Revelation. I have a Rev work shirt that's really fucking cool. I never wear it because it's like a little big on me now, but it's cool. It just looks like a gas station attendant shirt that just has the Rev. It's like navy blue and it just has the Rev logo embroidered on the pocket and on like the back, like between the shoulder blades. The work shirts is such a cool ass '90s vibe.
Oh, very much so. Didn't Earth Crisis have one?
Yeah, they have like bowling shirts too,
Yeah,
which is
that's fire, bro.
now over here. This gets into what we were talking about with the Hatebreed hat. These
Man,
hats now are any of these hats are worth so much fucking money, especially
easily like go ahead, go ahead.
the integrity hat. I'm sure is worth so much fucking money now.
So much. That one especially, like either one of those, I wouldn't be shocked if they go for multiple hundreds of dollars, no matter how beat up they are. But like, dude, I would love to have that fucking Strife hat, the Earth Crisis, that green Earth Crisis hat, very weird color combo, but like very Earth Crisis.
It's
The
cool.
Path hat, yeah, it looks awesome. I mean, the Strife and Earth Crisis hat in particular, out of those, I would love to own those.
I had this strife hat at one point and it broke. Like the snapback part broke.
Yeah, I was about to say that's like where you get into the issue with these that are that old. Like The kids who are wearing these hats were moshing at every single show, sweating in it. It was getting stepped on and falling off their head. Like you're not gonna find one of these in like good condition.
Yeah, for sure. The Path hat is a weird design. Like it's weird that it's like on a weird tilt instead of
It like the X up hands, but they didn't center it. I
yeah.
still would wear the shit out of it, but
Yeah, I would
yeah,
do. I mean, dude, honestly, all of these hats are cool as fuck.
all of them. Yeah, like I don't even fuck with Bloodlet, bro. I'd wear that hat. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
dope.
the stickers are cool. This Path sticker is so fucking cool. I'm assuming it's probably one of those big like bumper sticker sizes too.
Yeah.
God. More patches. We got
Watch it, bro.
these are fucking lame, bro.
They are. The only thing I have like this, like one of like the cooler things I've gotten at a show is I went to the Edge Day show in Atlanta in 2011, and Foundation had like Foundation X watches at a 50,
Yeah.
and I bought the last one. That's cool. Foundation was like one of the most important bands to me as a kid, like getting into hardcore. So that's like one thing I own that I'll never get rid of. That's pretty sick to have.
Yeah, that's a cool thing to have for sure. These beanies are pretty cool too. The Strife and Earth Crisis ones.
The path one also just at the tilt. Like, why wouldn't they just do it where the X's are like, I don't know,
Yeah.
goofy shit.
These posters also, I mean, this only the strong poster is so classical. Um,
You had that one. You gave
I,
it to our friend Zach Keaton, didn't you?
he no, he gave it to me.
Oh, that's what it was. You still have that one. That's what it was.
Yeah. I have these
I,
Strife. I have both these Strife ones too. You
I have
have this
that.
poster, don't you?
Yeah, I was about to say I have that hanging up in my room right now. There's this fucking weirdo on Depop right now who has that Earth Crisis Go Vegan poster, and it's been up forever. He's selling it for like $19, and I keep just sending him $12 as an offer, and he keeps denying it. But I have a feeling one day he will just be like, "Yeah, that's fine."
That's so funny.
That's a sick poster.
Yeah, it's awesome. I used to have this one. I don't know what happened to it, but
Posters are an underrated hardcore thing to collect, in my
oh,
opinion.
for sure.
I love
The
posters.
social issues T-shirt,
Not rocking with any of those, bro.
dude. I would wear the Sprite straight edge shirt to be honest with you.
That one's the vegan Pepsi one. That's just like that's just so fucking 90s hardcore kid that it's insane.
I had one of these. Somebody bootlegged them, and I had one.
That's
I just thought it was so funny. But this I'd actually wear. There was one of these on Depop not that long ago, and I was watching it, and somebody bought it. That shirt, that design is fucking. It's so funny that it's cool.
that is dope.
Some devil's head design. It's pretty
Very
cool.
very strange.
Devil's head straight edge shit. Um, yeah, more just like distro shirts. I mean, just this is just like going to the mall for '90s hardcore kids, bro. This is just like everything you could ever want.
The legendary Smorgasborg Hatebreed shirt on the left.
Yeah,
You got the Judge shirt.
yeah,
Some classical shit.
yeah. Pretty dope. Pretty cool shit. And then getting to the end of it here, we got the fucking ska page. Lord knows why this is here, bro. Just all the ska stuff.
Very much dog shit.
Yeah, it's funny. This is really fucking funny, dude. The
Telling you how to navigate their website, essentially.
yeah, like literally, he's just like thinking about when the browser looked like this.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. This is the most like dawn of fucking Photoshop ass shit.
Yeah. They're like, we can draw lines.
Yeah. But yeah, then close it out with a Temperance Records ad. I wonder if you had to pay way. I'm sure you had to pay way more to get like this color page, full page, than these like quarter page ads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. That's Victory Magazine #1. Thanks for sitting through this one with us. Pretty cool. This one is a really, really serious time capsule,
Very much so. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just important to state, it goes without saying, but Victory was like the gods of hardcore at one point in time before what they are now. Like,
Yeah.
I feel
I
like if
mean,
you had the Victory Bulldog on your shit, dude, no one could tell you nothing back then.
even even to this day, I feel like they've put out so much nonsense, and they've put out way more bad shit than they ever put out good shit, and
Oh,
been crappy and not hardcore related for so many more years than they were core related. But their legacy is untouchable to me. Like what they
oh,
did,
for sure.
it can't be. They could never ruin it with all the nonsense now. Like it's still awesome.
I
So
mean, pound for pound, one of the most important, like, pound for, I don't want to say one of these most important labels. That's maybe the wrong way to put it. Pound for pound, they put out some of the best hardcore records of our all time compared to other labels.
yeah, for sure.
A lot of, like, we could, that's a whole other episode. We could get into that, but
Yeah, but
yeah,
yeah, thanks for sitting through this one. If you have any information on some of the things we were stumped on and you want to leave it in the comments, please do. Um, Carter, you got anything else to say?
no, if you made it through this one, thank you for checking it out. And like Lennon said, like, if you ever want to add anything, please put it in the comments. I think it'd be cool to get some discussion going there, and just add to all of this. So thank you for checking it out.
Yeah. All right. Until next time, we'll be doing
Line of defense.
so we'll check that one out, issue number 1. Yeah, peace out.
Peace.